It's time to talk about the government shutdown, because what will happen with crypto ETFs has huge effects. We need to talk about it, even if you don't want to. Please like the video I made today. Thanks. Take a look. It looks like the start of new spot crypto ETFs would be affected by a long government shutdown. Oh no. You might not be able to file for an ETF in October for a while. Guys, this is really funny. There will, of course, be a black swan event in the month that XRP is supposed to start as many ETFs as possible. This will cause the approvals of the ETFs for several coins, including XRP. I think it's Solana or Litecoin. This is so funny. Registrants and regulated organizations file and get their registrations processed and approved. If a business or person wants to become registered with the SEC, they will not look at or accept applications from investment advisors, broker-dealers, transfer agents, nationally recognized statistical rating organizations, investment companies, municipal advisors, or for new financial products. That's it. Okay, look over and agree to changes to the rules of a self-regulatory group. Look over or speed up the impact of restoration statements, or look over or qualify offering statements that issuers use to sell securities. Review periodic reports and other forms, but don't help read grants with things that aren't emergencies. You guys just saw this happen because the government shut down, right? It looks like the SEC planned this, right? They're getting ready for it at least. Plans for US SEC operations were put on hold when funds ran out and the government shut down on August 7th, 2025. Okay guys, here's a PDF. This PDF basically says that the plan follows most of the SEC's 4,289 workers, or 90% of its staff. About 4,000 people work for the SEC, guys. A lot of them won't get paid for their work, though. At this point, it looks like they'll just stand there and not move. From October 1st, 2025 until further notice, the office will only have a very small number of staff members available from the SEC. Okay. They used to have 4,298 workers, but now they only have 393 left for emergencies like fraud investigations and market surveillance. Okay, that's pretty crazy, which is why the approvals for the ETFs are likely to be put off until further notice. After all, we need the government shutdown to end, right? So if we want the XRP ETFs to be approved here soon, in the next few weeks, the SEC has people ready to help in an emergency, with a focus on our goal to protect investors and keep the market honest. Since every other person isn't there, that's the only thing they'll be thinking about here, okay? They cut their staff down to about 9% of what it used to be. Okay, take a look at this. There are a total of 4,289 workers. They only have 393 guys left now. Okay, so they got a crew of about 9%. This means that the agencies can only do important things like investigating fraud in an emergency and keeping an eye on the market. They can't do normal things like reviewing and improving new financial goods like crypto ETFs. That's really strange. What? Just think about it, guys. I feel like we're living in a scenario that is backwards. Don't even joke about it. This is scary, indirectly or formally. Anything that has to do with XRP is always held up. Something always happens in the world or in the crypto space that causes XRP to be late, no matter what. This is strange. Why does that happen? What? Guys, I think I'm going to blow up. The SEC told the creators of XRP, Solana, Cardano, Dogecoin, and Litecoin to take back their 19B4 file. This means that new listing rules are in place and approvals can happen once staffing is back up to par. They say it. Guys, this is really silly, right? And these are all the different ETFs. Okay, there are due dates, but this will have to be pushed back until the government shutdown ends. There's been news about the #T NASDAQ Crypto Index ETF. You guys know that Cardano will be added to the list with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Stellar, XLM, and XRP, right? That's really cool to see, but I think everyone is now just waiting for the SEC guys, right? Let's see what takes place. But I thought, well, now that the government is shut down, right? So what happens when it's only partly there? What will happen next? Also, how long does it usually take for them to be fixed up here? I looked it up and found that the US government is shut down. Since 1976, there have been 20 funding gaps in the US government, which led to 10 shutdowns. When Congress can't agree on a budget, the government shuts down. Parts of the federal government have to close until there is a plan for how to spend the money. These gray boxes show the funding gap, and the black box shows how many days the government was closed. It's been shut down 10 times, right? In fact, over all of these years, it took 3 days, from November 20th to November 23rd. Okay, it took 2 days to go from September 30th to October 2nd. It took about a day or two to get down here. That being said, the longest time during this time was probably about 20 days, guys. Okay, about 20 days. 20 or so days right now in the late 1900s. Okay. Also, the US government hasn't been shut down in 16 years. Okay, this gap is there. It went on for 17 days. This shutdown happened from 2013 to 2018 and was said to have lasted a few days. After that, in 2019, it went for more than 30 days, right? During the time of President Trump. That means the range is from a few days to 30 or more days, right? Plus, if it was an even crazier black zone, it might last longer no matter what. That's it. It looks like the ETFs will be late no matter what, even if it's just a couple of days until everything is back to normal, guys. And you don't know when it will be, do you? People say maybe in a couple of days, right? It won't take too long. Yeah, there was a site right here that said there was a 1% chance that the government shutdown would end. Okay, I think there is less than 1% chance here by tomorrow, October 1st to 2nd. Okay, that's what they think then. Look at this. October 3rd through October 5th, 7% chance. From October 6th to October 9th, 27%. 10th to 14th, 28%. Or after October 15th, 35%. Right now, this is what the market thinks. Again, though, if they don't get it lifted right away, guys, it will still be pushed back as the days go by, right? Things are going to be held up longer and longer. We need this as soon as possible, but it might take a month this time. That's the ball. Again, everything that comes with XRP is tied to it, and it's getting late. So basically, they made this situation happen so that XRP would be late, right? I feel terrible for everyone. It was all because of XRP. Jake asks, how crazy would it be if the government shutdown delays the Clarity Act and XRP is the only cryptocurrency that works with Clarity here in the US when they need a cryptocurrency to deal with the impending liquidity crisis caused by the end of the reserve reverse carry trade? This does seem a bit odd, doesn't it? It is planned that 1.5 million government workers will be let go by tomorrow. What takes place? In this case, the US government has shut down. This is all the data that is being held up: unemployment claims, non-farm jobs, and more. This means that rates will be delayed for more than just ETFs. Rates will also be delayed for other things like economic data. Please hold all of these, guys. Good job, America. There was no government at all. The government was closed. It was simple. What will happen next? Listen up. Good job, America. The government of the United States is closed. It was simple. Most likely you didn't notice unless you're cashing a check paid for by taxpayers, like the 740,000 government workers who are now on furlough or the millions of left-wing NGOs that lost their funding.